All right, Mr. George Nino, we are live. Today we're going to talk about the women in George's life and
That's for another day. It's another
it's
topic.
dating 101, George. We're going to take relationship advice from the master himself, Mr. George Nino. How are you doing, man? How's your day? So I'm very excited because this is something that my clients that I've worked with have asked me so much about, and I was educated, but not educated enough to know and understand exactly what the process was to remove bad credit marks from your credit report. Because you see, I always thought that if if you go delinquent on something, which means that, let's say you go to Best Buy and you take out something at Best Buy and eventually you just don't pay it because you just couldn't afford to pay it. I always thought that that was with you forever and you couldn't remove it. So we just recorded an hour and a half video and we just uploaded it to our Path to Freedom membership. So anybody who's a Path to Freedom, Path to Freedom member, you have access to this. You can now go. Well, you don't have access to it right now because we haven't uploaded it yet, but you'll have access to it this week because we just recorded it. So now you can go and watch this instructional video where we teach you exactly how to remove bad credit marks from your credit report. So, George, and unfortunately, guys, look, we do this for our members because we want to bring this value to them because they chose to become a member through our program where we talk about money management and investing and finances and a lot of stuff that you need in your day-to-day life that unfortunately you don't have that guidance. And this was one of the things that I've just been putting off. I've been putting off, and I know George was knowledgeable about it. I just didn't know how knowledgeable George was. So how is it that you were able to get so knowledgeable in the credit repair space?
Well, so I started because I was kind of my own customer in a way. Many years ago, a lot of things happened. I was young, I was stupid, and a lot of my accounts went delinquent. On top of that, my son had surgery. A lot of things happened, medical issues, and I had to let go of everything. I had two cars. They went to repo. I was getting evicted from my apartment where I was at. My furniture went to collections. Everything that I had just went bad. And I actually at the time had 29 delinquencies on my account.
29.
Yep. I
That's
was I
that's
was
a
bad.
that's a lot, man. That's quite a bit. And I think a lot of the people that may watch this video or that we may have as friends here on Facebook, which by the way, let me take. You want to take this video and share it on your Facebook page, man? Because it's on
Oh yeah.
mine.
Oh yeah. Let me do that.
Let me see. Oh, sorry. If you go to my Facebook page,
Yeah, I can.
just
I can.
and just share it to yours. So yeah, guys, this is having bad credit is something that keeps you from really accomplishing any of the big goals that you have in your life, because if you don't have good credit, you don't have any power to purchase anything of significance. If you have bad credit, you can't buy a decent vehicle at a decent interest rate. You can't even contemplate taking out a mortgage because your credit is terrible. So you have to fix your credit in order for you to be able to do things that are worthwhile. So George, you dug this huge hole for yourself, and so you worked with some of these credit repair agencies, and unfortunately what ended up happening is a lot of them just ended up screwing you over and they just took your money. And so through that process of working with a lot of these guys that didn't do right by you, which by the way, I know that there's a lot of agencies out there, the credit repair agencies that have integrity and do right by their clients. We just gave all that information and everything that they do on our Path to Freedom membership, which is only $25 a month, and you get that and investing in so much other like really valuable information that you need to improve the quality of your finances. So we just gave all that information out to all of our members. But the reason we're here is because we want to tell you that it's important. And so George, all of these bad decisions, I mean, what was the quality of your life back then versus the quality of your life today?
Um. Well, I was. Yeah, my quality life wasn't great back then. A lot of bad decisions. A lot of drinking. A lot of going out. But also my
Wait,
income
what?
was
How's that different from last weekend, man? Because I
oh
saw your Facebook.
well now I'm making money, so it's a little different.
Okay, I see. All right, very good. It's
No,
touche.
but
Good.
yeah, so I didn't have I wasn't making much income back then. All my a lot of my accounts were delinquent. I wasn't making ends meet, and I had a new son at the time, so there was a lot of bad things going on that I couldn't get out of, and I was in a really deep hole, and I was in such a deep hole that my bills were exceeding my income. And I do remember one time, and I forgot to mention this on the Path to Freedom, but I do mention one time that I was paying late to all my accounts. Like what I would do was, if my light bill was due in like today, I would wait till my next paycheck to make that payment. So I was literally making all my payments, sometimes 14, 30 days or 24 days out, trying to make payments as much as I can. And since all my payments were being late, I was racking up late fees. And one time I was calculating all my late fees, and my late fees were almost $400 a month,
Oh my gosh.
just because I was late on everything. And it really sucks when you can't get out of debt, and I was forced to pay late. Then for paying late, I was racking up another bill, and the bill that I was racking up was just late charges, and it was like a never ending thing. And it it really it can take a toll on you when you have so much, like you're not making enough money, right? You're not making enough money, you got bills coming in, right? My son had two surgeries on the spinal cord, and I was going through a lot. Me and his mom just at the time just separated, had nowhere to stay, and I stayed at my friend's house one time, and at the time this was going on, I had nowhere to sleep. I was sleeping on the floor. My son was sleeping on the sofa. I couldn't afford new clothes. I couldn't afford food. Like I was really in a really bad situation. And yeah, it was like that for about 3 to 4 years. It wasn't great. I think it
It
was one of
was.
those years. It was a big time in my life that like every day just felt like it was raining and pouring on you. Every single day, just like why me? Why me? And every day, and I used to blame other people. Like I used to blame like, well, it's because this happened to me, because this happened to me. And I never took ownership for, well, I mismanaged money, I was overspending, I was doing this at the time, I wasn't prepared, I didn't know this, I didn't know that, and just blamed everybody except myself.
There's this saying that everybody is a millionaire. Everybody's a millionaire. You either have millions of dollars or you have millions of excuses, but everybody's a millionaire. I'll tell you, you can't have both. You cannot have both. You either say, hey, you know what? My life is the way it is right now because of the decisions that I've made. It's time to make better decisions, which is the whole reason why we started our Path to Freedom membership in the first place, which is $25 a month, which I feel is drastically underpriced. And I really feel like I need to raise the price at some point, but we're going to keep it at $25 a month for now. But the reason why we don't give this out for free, why don't we just give out our Path to Freedom membership for free? Because things that you don't pay for, you don't value. If you think of all of these scenarios where people get housing and all of these things for free, a lot of the times they just don't value it because it doesn't cost them any money. So we can't give out Path to Freedom for free. Why? Because we want you to at least have a minimal investment. When I originally discussed this with my partners and with the people that I share everything with, which is my business partner David, and also with George, when we originally started working on this, I said I want to make this affordable enough to where everybody has a fighting chance to be able to get this financial education, to be able to change the quality of their life. And even at $25 a month, we still have people that won't register, and they won't register just because either they don't think it's important, they don't think fixing their credit is important, they don't think money management is important. But then it's the same people that say, well, why is my life not as good as that guy's life? Why am I stuck in this situation? Well, because you don't make better decisions, because you don't act on improving the quality of your life. So aside from fixing your credit, which we just showed how to do on our Path to Freedom membership, what were some of the other things that you did better, George, to improve the quality of your life?
So back, I guess when all that happened, and you brought some very good points right now. And if you don't pay for it, you don't appreciate it, and that's the reason why I feel like I'm very knowledgeable on the credit part, because I really paid my dues on it. And so I went through 3 reporting agencies to help me out on this. And I literally spent about $5,000 with all of them. And I feel like they didn't do jack shit on either one. But knowing what they're doing, learn how to remove the credit. I did all the work. Like I took my time, I learned it, I got my things removed, and from 20 or 29 delinquencies that I had, I took them all down and they're all gone already. Like I don't have any more delinquencies whatsoever. All my payments are made on time, and from a 559 that I had back then, a 559, I'm at a 780 now. It's
Holy smokes!
yeah, like
You have better credit than me, and I didn't make any stupid decisions, and you still have better credit than me.
yeah.
That's
So
good, man.
and now I take so much pride in my credit. Like even though I have great credit now, I monitor it every single day. I'm always logging into my Experian app to double check what's going on. I'm always on it and because I guess I felt the pain that I went through. All the hard work that I put into fixing it, that I don't want it to go away. And so yeah, it's something that you value, and I think I paid for it not through money, or yeah, through money, but also through my time. So I value it.
Yeah, and the thing that will tell you about this, ladies and gentlemen, about fixing your credit, it's going to be a very tedious process. So it's not like you're going to be able to go in there and just fix your credit over the course of 2 weeks or a month. It's going to be a gradual process, and it's time consuming. So what we did on our Path to Freedom membership is we showed you exactly what you need to do. We're going to upload the documents that you're going to need to be able to do it. And I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. I can't add another expense to my life. You get when you enroll, you get Path to Freedom for free for 30 days. So you have it for free for 30 days, which means you'd have access to this content for 30 days. And at that point, I mean, you choose if you want to cancel or not. But once you start going through all the different sections, you go through our money management, where we teach you exactly how to manage your money so that you don't feel broke all the time. You go through our building your credit, you go through our investment section, our real estate investing section, which I think is gold. Our business partner, David, I mean, he's bought like freaking six or seven properties in like the last 5 months. Like the other day I asked him, hey bro, is this legit? Like, I mean, I was like, what's going on here, man? He's like, no, man, you just have to learn how to leverage the bank's money to be able to buy real estate properties. And I was just like, oh, and then I really started talking to him about it, and he explained to me how everything works. And so all of this information we have available to you guys, and all you have to do is just start and watch it. There's a lot of people that they think are building skills and experience over time. I heard this one comment that says, everybody says, I have 20 years of experience. I have 20 years of experience, but really you just have 1 year of experience repeated over 20 times, which means you've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years and you haven't built any additional skills. And that's why sometimes you take a step back and you're like, hey man, my life's not going anywhere. Well, it's because you're not building any skills. And George, fortunately for you, you've started to build a lot of those skills, one of which was learning how to fix your credit to take it from a 560?
559. Yep.
To a 780. And what was that? The difference between driving a piece of crap Chrysler 300, or what was it?
So it was a Chrysler 300.
Not the new ones, not the nice ones.
No, not the. This was in 2000. This was in 2009. So it was an older model. It was a 2009, and I had a 23% interest rate. Yes, I know.
Holy smokes! 23%.
Yeah, high interest rate. 23% interest rate. Now to a Lexus with a 0% interest rate.
And then you went from sleeping on the floor, right? Because you didn't have a bed, to now you have this beautiful home that you just bought recently. How long did you buy your home? How long ago?
I bought my home on August 3rd.
August 3rd. Okay. Very good.
Yeah. Well, I signed August 3rd.
Well, guys, I'll tell you that if you want to learn how to remove these delinquent marks from your credit report, We have that information available. And then also when you become a Path to Freedom member, you have access to an email. You are welcome to email us. And I mean, we'll try to give you as much guidance as we can within reason, because you have, once again, you have to keep in mind that this process is very tedious. And so we cannot do the process for you. We're only charging $25 a month for a membership, but we can give you as much guidance as we can within reason. So startyourpathtofreedom.com. George, any closing remarks for the people that are going to watch this video about fixing their credit and just fixing the quality of their finances?
Well, one thing is that many people believe, or you may think that you may not be ready for this, but you should always look at your finances and always look at your credit. If right now you feel that you can really work on your credit, you want to know what you can do to improve. If you want to buy a home pretty soon, if you want to buy a new car, if you want to make any big purchases, well, this is the time that you need to start looking at your credit, looking at ways what we can do to improve it, looking at ways that you can improve your overall once your financials that you currently have in order to make that purchase. It doesn't happen overnight. And so if you do want to buy a home in a year or two, this is a perfect time to start working on your credit. Start working on different ways to get your credit even higher. Find ways to get higher credit limit increases. Find ways to get your financials in order. So to make that transition a lot easier. Because most of the time people will come and they'll say, you know what, I want to buy a home, but the credit is not in order. They don't have good credit scores. They don't have their debt to ratio isn't great. The income isn't where it needs to be. But you want to buy a home, and that's great, but you need to be ready for it. So right now, if you're thinking to buy a home, you're thinking to buy a car, you think to making a purchase or anything of the sort, come talk to us and join Path to Freedom, and we can help you. And I promise you, through one of our videos, there's some way we can help you.
And we'll close with this, George, because you used this really good analogy when we were recording the video, the instructional video. You said if you already know that right now you're not in a situation where you can pay all of your bills, like you know that from this moment forward, you're probably going to miss some payments on something down the line, then there's no point in starting the process of fixing your credit if you think that you're not going to be able to pay on some of your debts. And we talk about that more in detail in the video that we just created for our Path to Freedom members. But don't get into fixing your credit if you're still continuing to make the same bad credit mistakes, because it's like trying to put out a fire and then you throw gasoline on it, and then you try to put off the fire again and then you throw gasoline on it again, right? So that you mentioned that it's not wise to start it if you're still like barely making it or you're still missing payments, correct, George?
Yeah, correct. Like you shouldn't start it if you're nowhere or you feel like you're not ready for it. You're still behind on bills. Then yeah, you need to wait a bit. You need to wait to some your financials a little bit more in order when you catch up on your bills a little bit more. You want to make sure that if you get into the program, you know you're not going to make a late payment. You're going to say, you know what, I can make this happen. I can make my bills on time, and you won't be late. And that's the only time to do it, because there's no point in starting this, investing your time, and then you go make a late payment.
That pretty much
defeats the purpose.
That'll push reset on the whole process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Okay. Well, guys, we just wanted to come on here because we're so excited about this content that we brought on to our Path to Freedom membership. So just keep it in mind. Startyourpathtofreedom.com. George gave us a lot of very, very valuable information. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because, guys, it is possible. It actually is possible to remove delinquent marks from your credit report. You actually can do that. Delinquent marks that belong to you or that belong to you. Let's say you went and you took out a TV at Best Buy and you paid and you paid and you paid, and eventually because you had too many debts, you stopped paying, and then Best Buy sold that debt to a collection agency, a third party, and now they're sending you letters and they're doing all this stuff, but it is your debt. There's actually a way to get rid of that. And I always thought that there wasn't, but after George explained to me the entire process, you can actually, it'll take some time and it'll take some work, but we showed you exactly what you need to do, and you can get it off. You in a year's time, you can go from a 559 to maybe not a 780, but because that's, I mean, George, you really made some good moves. But let's say if you could go from a 550 to a 720, I mean, really, when you're like 720 and above, mean, you're going to get financed by anyone. You can get financed by anyone. But this is the difference between you getting into your dream home, into your mortgage that you need to be able to buy that house that you want or your wife wants. It's the difference between living there or living in a crappy apartment. It's the difference between you being able to go buy a car from a dealership or having to buy it from Joe's used car lot down on Southmost, because that's the only person that's going to finance you, because it's buy here, pay here. So, George, any closing remarks, man, before we close it out here with the people on Facebook?
No, I think that's really it.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day. George, stay with me right here after I end the broadcast, and you guys have a restful rest of your evening. Thank you.